Hello everyone and welcome back to Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia for round 10 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 season. We are going to kickstart our first night race in the season, and let's hear from our pit reporter Steve Dawson on how our drivers have did early on.
Well, you know, it's going to be a really exciting race tonight, mainly because of what did happen earlier on. So Alessandro Guiretti is on pole, and that's good news for him because he's had his win from earlier today downgraded. The stewards say that he caused a crash with Mathis Jobert. So Jobert takes the win from earlier today. He's in P2 this evening, Guiretti on pole. Now, among the Pro-Ams, Bao Jinlong starts right at the back. Now, we've seen him work his way forward several times before, and it's always fun watching him do that. Similar kind of story with the amateurs, because Mongkong Satyanthirakul has 6 amateur drivers ahead of him, and he's more than capable of weaving his way through them to get himself on the podium, maybe even top spot. So 3 really great things to look out for today. Tussles all over the field. Should be really entertaining under the lights, Sammy.
Seems like this is going to be a real test for the usual drivers that we see on podium to see whether they can maintain the same pace. Thank you so much, Steve, and let's pass it back to our commentators.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Steve. It's Peter Mackay here up in the Global Broadcast Centre, raring to go for this one here at Sepang International Circuit. As you can probably tell, we had a fairly eventful race earlier on today for our Porsche Carrera Cup Asia drivers, but this race, something completely different. Beautiful Sepang International Circuit. We had a big dump of rain after race 1, but it has dried up, which is very nice. Let's have a look and see what happened earlier on today. So we started off on the grid with Matthias Jobert on pole in blisteringly hot conditions, but it was championship leader Alessandro Guiretti who got a great getaway from the outside of the front row. Couldn't get the job done into turn 1 and 2, but he did do in turn 3. However, did so in a forceful manner, and the stewards decided that that was a win taken away for Alessandro Guiretti. But as always in the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, there was battles going on up and down the field in Pro-Am and Am, and the story, of course, of Daniel Lu Wenlong going all the way from the back of the pack to 7th place in the number 20 Earl Bamber Motorsport car. The local drivers, well, they were making a name for themselves for sure. Nazim Azman making moves at a really popular spot in turn 1. Unfortunately, Adrian De Silva looking around 2 corners later. Dominic Chia, one of our Porsche Endurance Challenge drivers, went for a move as well at turn 1. Just locked up the rear Michelins on his Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. It was celebrations for Alessandro Guiretti, but they would be short-lived. So the drivers are making their way out onto the grid, and Sammy and Steve have found a very important guest.
Thank you, commentators. Now joining me on the track today, we have 2 guests. One is the Managing Director from Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, Mr. Alexandre Gibault. And together with me is also the Series Manager of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, Mr. Alexandre Imperatori. So hello to both of Alex. Can wave to the audiences. So,
good evening, welcome everyone, good evening, and welcome to Sepang for night race.
Yes, now that the sun has set, the floodlights are lit, we are going to start the night race. Must be very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 29 911 GT3 Cup car running through the night. It's going to be something very special. Sepang is a very special place for us. You know, the very first race was organized here in 2003. The 200 race also. And this weekend the night race. So I'm sure we're going to have a great show for Saturday night evening. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Alex Gibault. So Alex Imperatori, being a driver, have been a driver yourself, can you share with us what makes a night race so special?
Yes, it's very special. It's something we don't get to experience very often. It takes some time getting used to it because of the reduced visibility. Therefore, drivers need to get used to it and develop a bit faster reflexes. Everything is feeling much faster than it does in the daytime. So you get this mismatch, and you always tend to have to push faster and beyond what you think is already the limit. But fortunately for our drivers, they had a pre-practice session in the dark yesterday evening to get used to it, and hopefully by today, they are ready to go, and it will be really exciting.
Looking forward to see a night race in the entire season. So thank you to Alex Gibault and thank you to Alex Imperatori.
Thank you very much and enjoy the show.
All right, with that, we'll pass it back to our commentators.
Great to hear from not one but two. Alex is there down on the grid. Of course, Alex Imperatori, a champion in this series back in 2012. What conditions do we have for us? Well, a little bit cooler than earlier on, 28 degrees Celsius as we head into the evening here in beautiful Kuala Lumpur. Quite a low chance of rain. We've had the daily dump of rain, which is quite typical in late afternoon in Malaysia. It's actually quite refreshing to get out of the heat, but should no rain really expected during this one. But track temperature is still high, 38 degrees Celsius, not as high as it was earlier. It was 46 degrees Celsius earlier on, but should be a little bit kinder conditions for both the cars and the drivers as they make their way to the grid with headlights on. And there's just something so atmospheric about a grid, about a race under the lights and race cars with the lights on, and it sounds different, it feels different. Well, Monsieur Bibendum of Michelin, also known as the Michelin Man, is waiting for our Michelin pole sitter. That is championship leader Alessandro Gueretti, who, taking the checkered flag earlier on, he was under the impression that he would have, as were we, that he'd have an enormous championship lead. It's not turned out that way. Alessandro Gueretti, still your championship leader, and on pole position ahead of Matthias Gilbert, but they will be chased by Nazim Azman. Great qualifying for him with Dylan Pereira in fourth. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida and Martin Raginger are your third row of the grid. Row 4 is the Pro-Ams, Liu Kai-shun and Eric Zhang. Row 5, Marco Giltrap got work to do from 9th alongside Li Juanyu. Zhang Yazi will start from 11th alongside Lu Jiewei. Zhao Jiquan will start from 13th, and then it's Eric Kwong, the AM Championship leader, rolling off from 14th. His brother Henry starts 15th with Adrian De Silva, and his home race starting 17th. Yao Liang Bo will start 17th alongside Moonkong Satien Tirukul. Zhu Jiefeng and John Shen round out the top 20. Then it's Dominic Chia for Trans-China Automotive Racing alongside Yang Ke. And then at the back of the 12th row of the grid, we have Harris Lee and Lee Chow. Christian Chia and Dylan Ip will start on the 13th row of the grid. And then it's Bao Xinlong, who's got a lot of work to do alongside Henrik Yaya Soatadi. Daniel Lu Wenlong will start from the back as he did this morning and as he will tomorrow in the third race due to his qualifying times being deleted. Let's get down to Steve, who's down on the grid with the drivers.
Car number 17 in P3, Nazim Azman, a Malaysian, driving here at Sepang. P3, this is a great opportunity. What are your hopes, your expectations from here, Nazim?
Don't crash, have a good start, get on the podium, hopefully.
You know this track as well as anybody here. What's it like driving under the lights, though?
I mean, I guess it's the same as anywhere else, right? I mean, you just gotta do your own thing, you know? Can't be focused on it too much because the lights get quite distracting at night, to be fair. Like, if someone has their rain light on, you can't see much. So, just don't get distracted.
A lot of Malaysians watching at home and here will want to see you on the podium. Are we going to see you there?
Inshallah, my friend. I hope so.
Look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Nazim Azman, he's going to give it a go here at home at Sepang for the Team Derby racing team. We had the boss of Team Derby presenting the trophies earlier on down at the podium. Great motor racing culture in Kuala Lumpur, particularly, of course, with Sepang International Circuit, which was built back in 1998 and hosted rounds of the Formula One Grand Prix for many, many years and still a big part of the MotoGP World Championship calendar. But great to race GT cars and particularly Porsche 911 GT3 Cups. Quite fittingly, we have a Porsche 911 Carrera S as our pace car this weekend for this round of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. But a little bit further down the grid, we have Eric Zhang, who is now with Steve Dawson.
Car number 77, MP8, Eric Tsang is with us. Have a quick work. Eric, first of all, just take us through what happened this morning in your race.
I had a decent start this morning, but turn 2, on the exit of turn 2, there was a car just parked literally right in front of me. He was completely stopped, so I had nowhere to go. That's why I DNF'd.
All right, bad luck for that, but you qualified well for this race. What are your hopes and expectations for today?
You know, the team really just got the car fixed, so hopefully the car is running correctly, and honestly, just wish me luck.
We hope to talk to you later.
Thank you very much.
What a pity for Eric Tsang. It was very unlucky earlier on in race 1, and an amazing job by the Toro Racing squad to get that Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car repaired and ready for the second race. We only had 3 or 4 hours in between the 2 races, so it's been a lot of work for the mechanics to get that car repaired and to get it back on the grid and ready for action here in this 10th round of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. It's a hugely busy grid. Great to see so many people down there. Of course, the team personnel, of course, but lots and lots of guests and VIPs rubbing shoulders with the stars. And, of course, I'm sure some friends and family as well. Let's get down to our AM pole setter, though, Lu Jiwei, see what they have to say.
Lu Jiwei, car 777 in P12. Jiwei, you're ahead of all the amateurs. You got pro-ams ahead of you. What's the strategy to try and jump ahead and get a sort of a pro-am between you and the rest of them? Or would you hang back and try and enjoy some of that clean air?
I just want to focus for the racing, so I won't be look the back mirror, and I try my best to chase on the guys in front of me. Yeah, I think.
But ahead of all of the amateurs, do we get to see you on the podium today, do you think?
We will see. We will see.
We'll be watching carefully. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
So you can just about hear the whistles there on the grid. That is signalling all of the fans and guests to safely make their way off to probably some air-conditioned comfort here at Sepang International Circuit and find a good vantage point to watch this 30-minute race. Of course, each car has one mechanic left with it, just to make sure in case there's anything wrong. But put yourself in the mind of the driver right now. They've had all of the hullabaloo of fans all around them and sitting in the car waiting ready to go. Now they've got to get down to business. This is how the championship standings look after that race earlier on. Alessandro Gueretti, despite crossing the line in first, that penalty actually means his championship lead has been reduced. He now only leads by 18 points from Matthias Jobert. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida is shot up to third, and the DNF for Martin Raginger put him down to fourth. A jump start penalty for Dylan Pereira sees him in fifth. Bao Jinlong, no such problem for him. A big lead of over 100 points now in the Pro-Am classification and has one hand on the championship trophy. Li Xuanyu sits in second, not far ahead of Li Chao. Eric Kwong was able to just eke out a little bit more of a gap at the front of the field. He had Moon Kong Sati and Tirakul right in behind him going on to the final lap and managed to hold him off there to hold on to the AM Championship lead. Henry Kwong is just about in touch there in third. Still more and more guests all making their way quickly off the grid, ready to go. Alessandro Gueretti holding the door of his number 55 Team Jebsen car to the very last moment just to keep that cockpit nice and cool. What about the Sepang International Circuit though? What a place. Built in 1998 to a Hermann Tilke design, it's hosted 19 Formula One Grand Prix and is home to some great success for Porsche, a record 5 wins in the Sepang 12-hour endurance race, and lots of great overtaking opportunities. We saw turn 1 be very, very popular for overtaking chances in race 1. You can also look out for turn 9 as well. It's a downhill, very tight left-hander, and there's an opportunity to get a little move up the inside there and move forward. There's some very quick parts of the circuit too, going through the flowing turn 5 and turn 6, also 12 and 13 too. You can really get some speed going and use all of the wonderful aerodynamics of these race-bred Porsche 911 GT3 Cup machines. They do share a pretty reasonable amount with the road-going 911 GT3, but a proper motorsport machine built in Flach, just on the outskirts of Weissach near Stuttgart in Germany, where so many great Porsche race cars have rolled out from. How special is this? A race under the lights here at the Sepang International Circuit. The lights twinkle through the early evening darkness, and it's Alessandro Gueretti who will lead the field off from pole position alongside his compatriot Matthias Jobert. On the second row of the grid, and his home race, Nazi Mazman starts alongside the 2022 Oval 1 Super Cup champion Dylan Carrera. Then it's Rodrigo Diaz Almeida and series stalwart Martin Raginger. Starting from 7th will be the number 33 of Loy Koi Shun alongside the 77 of Eric Zhang. Marco Giltrap, who got onto the podium in race 1, he starts from 9th with Li Juan Yu, rounding out the top 10. Starting 11th will be the 888 of Zhang Yachi for Phantom Global Racing. He'll start beside Lu Jie-Wai. Zhou Ji Guan will start from 13th, then it's Eric Kwong in 14th, leading away the AM-class runners. Henry Kwong will start in 15th, alongside local man Adrian De Silva. Yao Liang Bo will start from 17th, alongside Munkong Zatien Tiraku. Then it's the number 75 car of Zhu Jiefeng, who starts on the 10th row of the grid beside John Shen, another stalwart of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. And more they come. Dominic Chia and Yang Ke are your 11th row of the grid, with row 12 seeing number 21 Harris Lee and Li Chao. Starting on the 13th row of the grid, a little bit further back than he did in race 1, it's Christian Chia. Dylan Ip, a lot of work to do from 26th. Baojian Long, likewise, winner in the Pro-Am class and in the top 5 overall in race 1. He's got to go from 27th on the grid. And also a driver who you'll see coming through the field, Daniel Liu, from 29th. 29 Porsche Carrera Cup cars. Over 5,000 Porsche Carrera Cup cars have been built since their introduction over 30 years ago. Think how many drivers have got behind the wheel of these incredible machines. We're now on the 6th generation of Porsche Carrera Cup car, which started all the way back with the Carrera Cup car. Started in 1990 with the Porsche 964 in the Carrera Cup Deutschland, on to the 993, the 996, 997, 991, and today the very latest, the 992. And what an amazing machine it is. Bright LED headlights cutting through the gloom here. Oh, it's actually quite a nice evening here at Sepang International Circuit, but yeah, just cutting through that early darkness, and it's only going to get darker as we go through the next 30 minutes. The drivers make their way to the grid spots, get ready to launch into 30 minutes of racing. We saw drama on the opening lap earlier on. What will we see this time? Will they behave under the bright lights of Sepang International Circuit? This amazing facility, a real credit to Malaysian motorsport, based just outside the capital city of Kuala Lumpur. Very close to Kuala Lumpur's international airport, in fact. It's a great circuit to access. The last few cars make their way then to complete our 29 car grid, and it will be Alessandro Gueretti on the left hand side of picture leading us away. The revs begin to rise, waiting for those lights to go out. Let's go racing in Sepang. Perfect getaway then from the championship leader Alessandro Gueretti, who's furiously defending the inside line, saying to Matthias Jobert, you're going to have to go all the way around if you want to get a jump on me. And Jobert's going to try it in the red Toro racing car, but makes a mistake. They touch again. It's more contact between Gueretti and Jobert. Is there bad blood between these two? Well, they managed to come together at the third corner last time. Well, they've got together on the first corner this time. Gueretti goes through though, and what a start from fifth on the grid. From the second row of the grid for Dylan Pereira, who's going to try and go for the lead now around the outside of Alessandro Gueretti. So watch for Dylan Pereira in the number 5 BWT water car, the bright pink machine, as the rest all make their way through the very tricky turn 4. It sort of comes back on itself. It's sharper than it initially looks. But Gueretti, has he held off Dylan Pereira? No, Pereira has hit the front. So Dylan Pereira, I'm sure, furious about his jump start in race 1. He moves to the front. It's Gueretti in second, and Jobert is all over the back of our championship leader. So is Alessandro Gueretti a little bit ruffled after the outcome earlier on? He goes to close the line, but he's left the door open, and Jobert goes through, and again more bits of contact there. Gueretti is going backwards. Alessandro Gueretti, we've seen him be absolutely inflappable all season long, and he's having a disastrous opening lap here at Sepang International Circuit. So it's Dylan Pereira who's made a breakaway at the front from Matthias Jobert. Then it's Alessandro Gueretti, who started on pole. He's back to third, and the bad news just gets worse. He's got Martin Raginger in the Porsche holding machine right underneath his rear wing as they head up the back straight towards turn 15 for the first time. Marco Giltrap making moves. Remember, he started in 9th. He's making great progress. Forward is the young Kiwi as they come around turn 15 to complete the opening lap. And yep, Marco Giltrap has got the job done. He makes the move on Rodrigo Diaz Almeida then, and on to the start-finish straight they go. So what a disastrous start for Alessandro Gueretti, but an amazing getaway from Dylan Pereira from a few places back on the grid, it must be said. He got the perfect getaway, managed to capitalise on the, well, should we say, the bickering between Jobert and Gueretti, and through he goes into a 2.1 second lead at the line. Remarkable stuff from Dylan Pereira, who'll be really hoping that this race stays green and he can get stuck into some clean laps and continue to build that advantage. So it's Pereira from Matthias Jobert from second on the grid. He remains second, but he dropped back behind Gueretti and managed to get that move done. Again, turn 9, we mentioned it at the top of the show, a great overtaking opportunity, and Jobert certainly took full advantage of it as well. Nazim Azman started third on the grid. He's back to 5th now, and he has got the attention of Marco Giltrap in the El Bamber Motorsport machine, a team with some great connections to Malaysia. Their team boss, El Bamber, or team owner, El Bamber Motorsport. El Bamber, he made quite a lot of his name here at Sepang International Circuit. It was really where he was discovered by Adrian De Silva. They put a plan together, and they ended up winning the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia twice, and now went on to win Le Mans with Porsche twice. Quite the story. But Giltrap, one of the young stars, one of the many young stars who drives for the El Bamber Motorsport, right on the case there of car number 17, Nazim Azman for Team Derby Racing Team, run by the El Bamber Motorsport squad. So are they teammates? Loosely so. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but we've got a spin for car number 75. Zhu Feng in the Z-Speed car has spun, and he's not able to get the car moving just yet. There he goes, he's got it into first gear, up over the grass, careful, and he'll get back going again. So we stay green flag racing just about here at the Sepang International Circuit. Here comes Giltrap. Giltrap just showing his nose a little bit, trying to put Nazim Azman under pressure there, but Azman, he's seen that move before. Was very relaxed on the grid when Steve Lawson spoke with him a little bit earlier on. Fastest lap of the race that time by Matthias Jobert, 2:10.1, half a second quicker that time than Dylan Pereira. So Pereira, after that great getaway, just fading a touch in that lap there. So the gap is now down to 1.6 seconds. So Jobert is the man on the move, but the big surprise, I have to say, 2 seconds behind Jobert in third place is Alessandro Gueretti, your pole sitter. He had what looked like an imperious run earlier on today with a almost lights the flag victory, but they had the forceful nature of the move to make that pass on Mathieu Jaubert at turn 3 on lap 1 was enough for the stewards to say no, and a 10-second penalty was applied. Now, normally that wouldn't be quite so punishing, but we finished behind the safety car, so the field was really bunched together, and that is why he lost so many points and positions. Bao Jinlong and Lu Wenlong, they're both coming through the field, having started very much out of position for different reasons. Bao Jinlong just not quite getting enough laps together in qualifying. He's battling away with Daniel Lu Wenlong right now. And Daniel Lu, he, well, unfortunately has to start from the back for all 3 of these races here at Sepang because the car was underweight after qualifying. So if he was disqualified from qualifying and therefore had to start at the very back of the grid. But Bao Jinlong is holding him off for now. Where have they got to? Goodness, they've got up to 12th and 13th place from the back of the grid, so huge amount of places gained, about 15 places gained for these 2 fantastic drivers. Bao Jinlong, of course, your commanding leader in the Pro-Am Championship. There's a gap of over 100 points now, so he's just got to keep flicking away those finishes. Doesn't necessarily have to win the races in class, just has to get out there and pick up the points. But here comes Daniel Lu. He's on the headlight flasher. Remember, Daniel Lu, the 2021 Porsche Carrera Cup Asia champion, and he's trying to make something happen here now. Just sort of go round the outside at turn 2 and then at turn 3, but couldn't quite get something done there. But goodness, don't these cars look fantastic racing into the night time under the floodlights. Just really pop out with those fantastic looking machines. Oh, there's a big move there from Bao Jinlong then. So they're making moves forward, and every move that Bao Jinlong is making, he's almost clearing the way for Daniel Lu. Fantastic stuff, and Daniel right behind Bao Jinlong now. He's right on the quarter panel, racing him super hard. You can tell a Carrera Cup champion a mile away because they race firm, they race fair, but they can be aggressive from time to time, and he's right there on the bumper, on the headlight flasher all the time, trying to distract Bao Jinlong. He thought about making a move and actually has just got his braking a little bit wrong there, did Daniel Lu Wenlong. He's all over the back of Bao Jinlong. Now remember, they're racing in a different class actually, so they are racing for different sets of points, but try and tell Bao Jinlong that. They bang wheels then. This is getting a little bit feisty then between Bao Jinlong and Daniel Wu. And here comes Daniel Lu Wenlong, and gives a little bit of hip and shoulder there, but Bao Jinlong is not going to let him have it easy. They're side by side, and Bao Jinlong just got the power down that little bit earlier. They're still banging wheels as they head up towards turn 15, side by side. Surely this can't end very well as they come through this very tight hairpin now. Wenlong is going to have to, I think, give best here, but he's going to go for the cutback actually. So he gets on the power that little bit earlier now. Now Bao Jinlong gets the power down. There's going to be a drag race all the way down this long start and finish straight down towards turn 1, and they're jinking back and forward like sparring, prize fighting boxers. And there, up the inside goes Bao Jinlong. Can he get it stopped? Daniel Lu Wenlong trying everything in his playbook to try and get past our Pro-Am Championship leader, but he just cannot do it. These two playing for keeps here, and quite honestly, they're costing each other a lot of time in this race. So, 9 laps then left to go as Daniel Lu Wenlong now going to try and go around the outside, and I think Bao Jinlong's made a bit of an error there, and yes, through goes the Earl Bamber Motorsport car, the red and black of Daniel Lu Wenlong, and finally gets the job done. But Bao Jinlong, wow, respecter of no ego, did not make that easy whatsoever for him. Now under full darkness, it feels like someone's just turned the dimmer switch right down here at Sepang International Circuit, so we're now into full darkness, and they had the floodlights cracking through the evening sky here in Kuala Lumpur. At the front of the field, Dylan Pereira's lead is still being trimmed away. Mathieu Jaubert has just set the best lap of the race, a 2:10.1 Very similar actually to the lap times earlier on, but crucially half a second quicker than Dylan Pereira that last time by. Now, for the 84 of Marco Giltrap, he started in 9th and he has got himself up into 5th, so another great drive from the young Kiwi, Marco Giltrap, who won the Porsche Sprint Challenge Australia last year and racing in the Porsche Carrera Cup Australia as well. So getting lots of seat time at the wheel of these Porsche 911 GT3 Cup machines, and you look at the talented drivers that have come out of Australia, particularly Matt Campbell, who came through the Porsche Junior system, the Junior Scholarship, and raced in the Super Cup, and well, now a Le Mans hypercar driver, a Daytona 24-hour winner, multiple Bathurst winner. Pretty impressive record, and that all started in his regional Porsche Carrera Cup. Such a good platform for talent development. Now we have a race on at the front here. We've got one of the, would I say a veteran, but one of the super experienced Super Cup racers, Dylan Pereira, Mobil 1 Super Cup champion in 2022. He has been challenged by one of the new up-and-comers, the number 99 Toro racing car of Matthias Jobert. Jobert, one of our talent pool by Michelin drivers, racing in the Super Cup and Carrera Cup France, much like his compatriot Alessandro Coretti, who, it must be said, is nowhere to be seen. He's 6 seconds down the road, so potentially not quite got the pace here. In fact, he's still under a lot of pressure, is Coretti, from Martin Raginger, who sits in 4th. But Pereira, he's under a lot of pressure here. Matthias Jobert, he put it on pole earlier on today. They've had a very busy day. Put it on pole earlier on today, finished 2nd on the road, but promoted up to the win earlier on. Can he get another win here? Can he get a move done on Dylan Pereira as we approach half race distance? So we're getting word from race control that Martin Raginger, who is at the moment putting intense pressure on Alessandro Coretti, has just been given a 3rd warning for track limits at turn 14, which is a very, very important corner because you're carrying that speed onto the back straightaway heading up to turn 15. So you can see that's one of the corners where the drivers are trying to push the limits as far as they can, and the stewards have definitely taken notice of Martin Raginger, such an experienced competitor. His first year in the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia was back in 2012. He's been racing Porsche Cup cars since 2007, so knows his way around, to say the least. This battle at the front was tantalising at the moment. There's trading really quick sectors back and forth. Meanwhile, the battle over 14th raging on between the 117 AM class driver of Xiaoji Quan and the Pro class driver, the number 6 of Dylan Ip, who started all the way back in the rear of the field. So he's had a lot of work to do to make his way forward, and coming up against a pretty stiff defence, it must be said, from our AM class leader. And Xiaoji Quan's got to play this very clever in that 117 car, because if he loses too much time with Dylan Ip coming through, then he'll have Eric Kwong right in behind him in the Bergwerk Motorsport car. Ip plays that very, very cleverly. Or does he? No, he fancies a fight. He fancies a fight here, does Dylan Ip. Through he goes. Yeah, so good move there from Dylan Ip. And now there it goes. Eric Kwong in that comic book strip car right in behind Xiaoji Quan, and that is your battle for the AM Championship honours. And Kwong's going to try and go for it straight away, but Xiaoji Quan closes off the door just at the last moment there. They've also got the 76 of Moonkrong Satien Tirukul, of course, challenging for the championship with Eric Kwong at the moment. So this is really a mouth-watering battle here in the AM class here in the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Right in behind Eric Kwong is Moonkrong Satien Tirukul. This was how they were running in the race earlier on, in this order too. The only difference was that Kwong was leading the race, but he's not right now. He's right in behind the 117 of Xiaoji Quan, has Phantom Global Racing machine. What an amazing job from Daniel Lewin Long. From the back of the grid, 29th on the grid, he's all the way up to 10th. 10th place. Quite remarkable that he's been able to do that. And his next victim is the 321 of Li Xuan Yu. He's right on the case of him. Baojun Long sits in 11th overall, 3rd in the Pro-Am class on the back of the grid. That's a very, very good start so far, and still plenty of racing left to go. So, Am battle, interestingly, Zhao Jiquan has dropped the two championship leaders in Am and is pulling away from Eric Kwong and Munkong Satien Tirakul. So that was that just might change things there. It's quite interesting. We're seeing Eric Kwong's been and Munkong Satien Tirakul, they've both been so strong all year. It's interesting to see them really having to sing for their supper a little bit here. But leading in Pro-Am is car number 33, Lui Kai Shun, the Formula 4 racer, who unfortunately had damage to his front left tyre, which took him out of the race earlier on, but no such problem right now. He's leading the race in Pro-Am. He's about to have company, though, from one of the pro drivers, the charging Daniel Lu Wen Long for Earl Bamber Motorsport. Remember, started 29th on the grid, so he's moving up there all of the time. But at the front, Dylan Pereira is just managing this gap beautifully. The gap had come down quite dramatically to around 9/10 of a second, but Dylan Pereira has just kept it under control here. He's on the headlight flasher because he's got a little bit of lap traffic to contend with. He was 1/10 of a second quicker than Jobert last time by, so the gap just flicks up to 1 second now, with 5 laps remaining, or 12 minutes, whichever comes first. If we stay green, we will get all of those 5 laps. That's how we do it here in the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. It's a guaranteed 30-minute race, unless we get to the lap count. First. So Pereira then, what a start that was, to make all those moves on that opening lap, taking advantage through, moving up into the lead, and he hasn't been bettered yet. And Jobert now just starting to show signs of fading back. Pereira just seems to have managed this beautifully and is keeping Jobert at bay. They are miles up the road from the big surprise, Alessandro Giretti. He clearly does not have the performance underneath him that he had earlier on. He was in great form earlier on, but one of those days, one of those races where it's not quite all coming together here, and he's still got the attention of Martin Ragginger. Has been able to put a little bit of gap between himself and Ragginger just to give a tiny bit of comfort, but Ragginger will be determined to try and catch up on Alessandro Giretti and get some points back in the championship. But for Giretti to see is now his closest competitor in the championship, Matthias Jobert, get even closer and close that gap down even more, well, that is not what he will want to see at all. So, Seam Derby Racing Team, car number 17, Nazim Azman is making his way through some lap traffic there, running in a very solid 6th position, started in 3rd. He chatted to Steve Dawson earlier, said he would just try his best, keep it nice and calm, keep it nice and steady, and get the car to the finish, and he's doing just that right now. However, he's about to come up, he's under quite a bit of pressure now from young Marco Giltrap, his stablemate. They have run in this formation for a few laps now, and Azman trying to keep Giltrap at bay as best as he possibly can. Now, white and black flag, that is a track limits warning being shown, so that's never good. I'm not quite sure who it was they were showing that to, but not what you want to see at all. So the gap last time by just came down a fraction, just 100th of a second between your race leader Dylan Carrera and Matthias Jobert in the favour of Jobert, but the gap's staying pretty steady there right now, but they are pulling away relentlessly from Alessandro Gueretti, whose best lap of the race is 0.8 of a second off what Carrera and Jobert are setting. In fact, it's 0.8 of Carrera and 1.3 of Jobert's best. So I wonder, not got quite the performance underneath. Now, battle for the AN class, big battle for the AN class now, because Eric Kwong is under big heat now from Munkong Satien Tirakul. Now, have they managed to get on by the 117 of Xiao Ji Quan? No, he's a little bit further up the road, is Xiao Ji Quan. So, Eric Kwong, he's going to try his very best here, but they're about 3 seconds further behind our AM leader. Xiao Ji Quan is doing a great job, but Eric Kwong, really his championship concern is about the man behind him, Munkong Satien Tirakul. Whoa, smoke going there. I think someone's locked up there into turn 9. I don't see any car going off. Oh yes, there's one. So my eyes did not deceive me. I'm trying to pick out which car that was. It just went a little wide, a lot wide at turn 9, getting the braking all wrong, but no problem at all for our AM class championship 1 and 2 in this order. Eric Kwong from Munkong Satien Tirakul, the brake test glowing on the front of Satien Tirakul's 911 GT3 Cup, and he's right there on the case of Eric Kwong. This has been the story of the 2024 Porsche Carrera Cup Asia in the AM class. Satien Tirakul pressing on the headlight flasher, trying to put his rival under as much pressure as possible. Eric Kwong having to go defensive into turn 15. He's running a little bit wide now. Is Munkong Satien Tirakul going to make a move? No. Eric Kwong just taking a nice bit of a late apex there, getting the power down, and over the line they come then. This is going to go to the wire then in the AM class. The front of the field, the gap sitting at 0.7 of a second, so Pereira's gap has come down a touch, but still in the favour of the number 5 of Dylan Pereira. But Kwong, his mirrors are absolutely filled with the headlights of Munkong Satien Tirakul's machine. In fact, that's not true. He's so close, his headlights are actually underneath him, underneath the rear wing. So yeah, it is really, really tight, but Satien Tirakul, a very experienced competitor, popping to the outside and flashing the lights in the mirror of Eric Kwong. That's a pretty aggressive tactic, that's for sure. But through they come, and Eric Kwong is now under a lot of heat. Munkong Satien Tirakul, as they come through turn 10 and 11, very, very tight through here. Very, very fast, tricky. It's a technical circuit here at Sepang International Circuit. But Eric Kwong just doing enough to hold off Munkong Satien Tirakul for now. He's going very defensive now, down into the sharp left-hander. Just trying to hold off the Thai driver, and they've got a few cars queuing up behind them. The number 9 of Lee Chow is right in there as well, as is the 91 of Henry Kwong too. So they've got company there in that AM class battle. Meanwhile, for the overall lead, here we go, between Matthias Jobert and Dylan Pereira. We're getting word, car number 20, Daniel Lu Wenlong, has got a 5-second time penalty for abusing track limits. That's Daniel Lu Wenlong, who came all the way from 29th on the grid to 8th. Well, 5-second penalty, that will do him absolutely no favours. At the moment, he's got more than 5 seconds behind him, so as long as he doesn't break any more, he could be okay. Dylan Pereira then is under pressure. Matthias Jobert trying everything he's got in the playbook to try and take a win here at Sepang, another win here at Sepang, whereas Carrera, his championship, he started off in great form, won the opening race of the season, but it's not quite got the all of the results that he would have wanted. But he's in a good spot at the moment. So we're on lap 11 of 11 laps completed, 2 laps to go then here at Sepang. Does Matthias Jobert have anything to say for Dylan Pereira. Change also for 5th place. Marco Giltrap has managed to get a move done on the number 84, on the number 17 of Nazim Asman. So Giltrap up into 5th position, and they've got Rodrigo Diaz Almeida not too far behind either, just a few car lengths behind in car number 18. So down the back straight then comes Dylan Pereira, still with Matthias Jobert, just a car length or two behind. Jobert trying to get the power down as much as he possibly can, but Pereira, such an experienced competitor. Over the line they come then, last lap for these two drivers. Can Dylan Pereira hang on? Jobert's going to try it. Last time by, Jobert was a 1/10 of a second quicker, so he's getting quicker, he's getting closer, but is he close enough? Where can he make that move down? Where can he make that move stick? Making that car turn on a dime there through turn 3. Amazing, the low speed manoeuvrability of these Porsche 911 GT3 Cup machines. Oh, spinner. Now, is that Baojin Long? It is. Number 7, Baojin Long is off from second place in the Pro-Am class. We said he needed to just score points, and he's got one hand on the Pro-Am Championship. Well, that isn't going to help at all. So Baojin Long, on the last lap, has had a spin. Or, more accurately, has he had contact? Because Rodrigo Diaz Almeida has got damage. So, putting 2 and 2 together, does it make 4 or does it make 13? I wonder. Have they got together? Rodrigo Diaz Almeida and the number 7 Pro-Am Championship leader of Baojin Long. But back to the front for the overall race win then. Dylan Pereira closes off one of the key overtaking opportunities down at turn 9. Pereira trying to hold off the number 99 of Matthias Jobert. Nothing just yet, but Jobert is right there on the rear of him. This is a replay. Trying to pick out, this may well be Baojin Long. So Baojin Long actually spun on his own. So it's not contact with Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. And oh, big slide there, huge slide from Matthias Jobert. Well, he tried everything in the book, nearly lost it on the penultimate corner, and that will free Dylan Pereira, the 2022 Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup champion. He had a difficult race earlier on, but not so today. Coming through the field to win this race, Dylan Pereira wins for Team Shanghai Honda here at Sepang. Great drive nonetheless from Matthias Jobert. Alessandro Gueretti, well, we'll be very interested to hear his thoughts on that one and where he feels he sits there, having finished 8 seconds behind Jobert in 3rd position. Martin Ragginger comes home in 4th, and then it's Marco Giltrap who finishes in 5th. Nazim Asman came home in 6th, and also in 7th place, the number 20 machine of Daniel Lubenlong from 29th on the grid. 22 positions gained in 13 laps. That would make an interesting onboard video, wouldn't it? Sit there with a coffee and watch that for half an hour, watching a master at work. Change for the AM lead then. Munkong Satien Tirakul has overtaken Eric Kwong on the last lap. So Munkong Satien Tirakul wins in the AM class here at the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, and that closes up that championship lead for Eric Kwong, and that is game on in the AM class. Fantastic stuff there from Munkong Satien Tirakul. Your Pro-Am winner, the number 33, Liu Kai-shun, coming into the championship for this round. R&B Racing's F4 racer doing a really strong job there. He had real disappointment with a tyre being damaged in race 1, but no such problem here. Another solid result there for Matthias Jobert in car number 99. He followed Dylan Pereira almost the whole race, and he's going to follow him all the way home on the cooling down lap as well. Well, our crew will be hot-footing their way down to the Parc Fermé area. Steve Dawson is always primed with the microphone to get the thoughts of the drivers as they jump out of the cars. After 30 minutes under the lights, I would think they're needing a rest. They've had a big day today, have the drivers, with qualifying and 2 races. It's they'll sleep well tonight, I am sure. One driver who might not sleep well there, unfortunately, is Rodrigo Diaz Almeida, retiring on the last lap. Jumps onto the back of friendly Marshall on a scooter, and will be going on 2 wheels back to the paddock. That's not the way he wanted to end his day here at Sepang International Circuit. But it's yet another win for Dylan Pereira, the quietly spoken, understated Luxembourg driver, but devastatingly fast. And this car, this Porsche 992 GT3 Cup machine, he's really truly made his own, to be honest, with the success he's had in the Global 1 Super Cup, in various endurance races, and in Carrera Cup Deutschland as well, and add Porsche Carrera Cup Asia to that list. A multiple winner in this championship this year, and with Guiretti down in 3rd, is this the race where the championship tide has turned? Team Shanghai Honda personnel already there to greet their man, as always, splendid in those BWT colours. And there is one happy Dylan Pereira. I'm sure the photographers are having a blast here with the changing light. Steve down there already with the microphone. A very, very happy Dylan Carrera. Now, I'm going to take a guess that's Dylan's mum. There's no one prouder than a mum after after a race. Partner as well, yeah, they're probably pretty proud too. Fantastic stuff. It's not been the easiest season for Dylan Pereira, but he's got very, very high standards. But that was him at his proper best. He was put under pressure by Matthias Jobert, but Dylan Pereira coming out on top by 1.6 seconds. Alessandro Guiretti really missing in action. Came home in 3rd though, and if that's your bad day, well, that's a good way to win a championship. Martin Bragginger came home in a fairly distant 4th. Marco Giltrap up into 5th with Nazim Azman in 6th. It was a Pro-Am win, for Liu Kai Shun. And in the Am class, well, what a job from Munkong Satien Tirako to overtake Eric Kwong on the final lap to win that Am class battle. Superb stuff. A few retirements, unfortunately, Zhu Jiefeng, Yang Ke, and also Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. So it was a beautiful race here underneath the lights of Sepang International Circuit, and we started in almost dusk before going into full darkness. Alessandro Guiretti from pole position, all looked good until Matthias Jobert got the bit between his teeth. Guiretti tried everything he could to defend from his fellow countrymen, but Jobert was on a mission. Just watch for that bright pink car from the 3rd row of the grid, Dylan Pereira, who just picked his way through, inside at turn 2, outside at turn 3, and he led into turn 4. Fortunately, early errors for Don Shen, a rare error for Don Shen there, car number 16. The 2 superstars at the front, Pereira and Jobert, just traded, not necessarily blows, it was a very clean race, but they traded blows on the timing screen. A very rare spin for Bao Jinlong, unfortunately cost him several points later on in the race. Jobert tried everything he could with a slight moment at the penultimate corner, but it wasn't enough to shut down the unstoppable Dylan Pereira. Your winner in round 10 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. So, a perfect performance from Dylan Pereira. Let's see how he's feeling.
Dylan Pereira has just received hugs from a record number of people and fully deserved. Tell us how you feel, first of all.
Yeah, I think tough race, I must say. Somehow I just warmed up the tires really well doing the formation laps, and yeah, so I had really a lot of grip in the first lap. So what I could make the difference basically and pass or everyone. Okay, I was a bit lucky to be on the right spot and that place. But yeah, I think it was good moves. Was taking care in front and see where I can pass. Yeah.
How did you do it? How did you get to the front? I'm not sure that many of us saw it. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, so turn one, I was P4 and everyone was blocking a little bit outside, so for turn two. So everyone was a bit slower to turn two, and I just took the outside on that part, which is unusual, but somehow it worked. And so I came out already out of turn two in P2, and yeah, going for turn four, I just braked really late and made the pass around the outside in turn four. And then from there on, I just tried to manage to do no mistakes and everything. And yeah, Gilbert was really fast. So I think we still have to do some work on setup-wise to improve that. But I think it was barely no mistakes race for me. And I think really happy for the win.
The problem with getting in front early is you've got to defend for a long time. But you managed to keep at least half a second pretty much all the way to the end there.
Yeah, I think it's quite difficult to pass on this track. So if you don't pass at the beginning, it's quite you have a lot of dirty air, so you lose a lot of front. So I knew he would be faster, but then it would be more difficult when he is closer. So I just tried to do less mistakes, no mistakes at all, and so I could keep him behind me.
I count at least 6 hugs from your friends and family already. Go and get some more and break a record.
Yeah, thank you. I will.
Interesting stuff there from Dylan Pereira, just saying that the sea kind of parted for him there going through turn 2 and 3, but took full advantage of that. And ever the champion racing driver, he's just won the race. He's saying, we need to work on the setup, we need to get better for tomorrow. That's how it works. If you stand still, you get past. So more work for Team Shanghai Yonda to have a look at the setup. These are, there's little tricks that you can find to try and get these Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars to their absolute optimum. There's so many great teams out there who really know the recipe to get these cars dialed in to the needs of their driver. But it was all change in the other classes in Pro-Am too, because we got a different winner in Pro-Am.
Liu Kaishun first among the Pro-Am drivers. A big disappointment for you earlier in the day. This must go a long way to making up for that, though.
Yeah, we had a quite good advantage going into the weekend, but well, luck is part of the motorsport game, so I take that. But
first time we've had a chance to speak to you since this morning's race. What happened? You got a puncture, but was it debris or did the tire just blow out?
yeah, I got a front left lock, and then it's very strange because the first part of the layer went out. It's not really like a puncture, so yeah, very disappointment.
Were there any concerns about the car, given what happened this morning for this evening's race?
Nah, not really, because it's, like I said, it's not really punctured, so it doesn't hurt the rims and suspension and stuff. It's only the first part of the tires layer went off, so it smashed the lights. So only if the lights doesn't go on at night. So otherwise, no, not really a big concern.
There's champagne to be enjoyed. Go ahead and do that. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
That's an excellent point, Steve. There is champagne waiting our podium finishers. Of course, 3 podiums here in the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia for our Pro-Am and Am drivers. And in Am, well, a critical win from Munkong Satien Tirukul, who managed to just nick his big rival Eric Kwong on the last lap. Such an important change in the flow, in the momentum. Momentum is so important in motor racing. I'm sure Munkong Satien Tirukul is delighted. Let's see what he has to say with Steve.
Munkong Satien Tirukul, first among the amateur drivers. You know, I think, congratulations. I think our broadcast team have to take some credit here because we spotted you with 6 amateur drivers ahead of you at the start, and we said before the race began that you would probably get to the podium, maybe even the top step. You did it. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels amazing. I mean, this is one of the greatest of the winning of my career, I think. And yeah, I mean, thanks to the pro in the back too because they are so fast. So they just come and pass our arm, and I just sometimes just like go behind them. Yeah. So they help a little bit on that side. Yeah.
Dylan Pereira was saying to us that this is a difficult track to overtake, but you had to do a lot of overtaking. How difficult was it?
I mean, it wild, but it's quite difficult because it is a high-speed track. So, yeah, I did a lot of many things to make the car in front of me make a mistake. And when he did, I mean, there's a chance to do. Yeah, it's nothing else.
Go Thailand. How are you feeling about tomorrow's race?
I mean, it is the first endurance race here. So I think it's quite amazing to race and feel fantastic if I can get on the podium. Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
A very happy Munkong Satyen Tirakul there, and when he says it's one of the best wins of his career, he's got a few to choose from. So fantastic stuff there to hear from our winners in each of the classes, and also to get a little bit of insight from Liu Kai-shun of what happened earlier on. That can happen in extremely high, extremely hot conditions. You're running everything to the limit, so it is possible to get things letting go in that kind of condition, and that's why so many teams actually, both in the 2 and 4 wheel world, come to test here at Sepang, because you put the vehicle through its ultimate conditions. They can be quite harsh conditions here, both in terms of heat, but when it rains, oh my word, does it rain here at Sepang. And normally you can kind of set your watch to when it rains. Usually it's a late afternoon when it starts to the rain starts to come down. The Michelin Man's already made his way up on to the podium. He's there. I hope he's brought his rain jacket, because there's going to be some champagne spraying, probably with a bit more vigour than it did earlier, because of course the drivers had to get themselves back ready to go for the next race. So tonight they've not got to worry about that until our third race of the weekend tomorrow, where we go live at 3:40 p.m. local time. And we've got all of the coverage here on the Porsche channel. Let's get down to the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for round 10 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 in Sepang. Let's invite the winners for the M class of round 10. On third place, we have driver number 91, Henry Kwong from Triple A's Racing. And on second place, we have driver number 23, Eric Kwong from Bergwerk Motorsport. And let's cheer for the winner for the M class. We have driver number 76, Munkong Satyen Tirakul from EBM Giga Racing. And let's also welcome the Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer Trophy winner goes to Dominic Chia from Trans China Automotive Racing. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Alexandre Gibault, the Managing Director of Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the winner trophy.
Congratulations. Very well done.
And next, I would like to invite Mr. Winston Fong, the Head of Marketing and Brand Communications of Sam Dhabi Auto Performance, to present the second place trophy. And now I would like to invite Ms. Kate Zhang, the Operation Manager for Michelin Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present both the third place trophy and also the Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer Trophy. Thank you, everyone. And can I invite the award presenters to please join with the winners of the M class for a group photo, please. All right, let's pose with big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much to our award presenters, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for some champagne.
And as expected, the bubbly definitely flowing at a higher rate than it was earlier on. fantastic stuff from our 3 AM class podium finishers, but also our Porsche Endurance Challenge winner in Dominic Chia. Eric Kong making sure and having a bit of refreshment there as well. Fantastic stuff from our AM podium finishers. Next up will be the Pro-Am drivers, who had certainly an eventful race out there. The number 33, Liu Kai-shun, the F4 racer, taking the spoils, and he's going to climb the top step of the podium.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to invite the winners of round 10 for the Pro-Am class. On third place, we have driver number 888, Zhang Yaqi from Phantom Global Racing. Yeah, cheer for him. And on second place, we have driver number 77, Eric Zhang from Toro Racing. And of course, the winner for the Pro-Am class goes to driver number 33, Liu Kai-shun from RNB Racing. Let's give him a lot of cheer. And ladies and gentlemen, now let's invite Mr. Alexandre Gibault, the Managing Director of Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the winner trophy. And next, I would like to invite Mr. Winston Fong, the Head of Marketing and Brand Communications of Sam Darby Auto Performance, to present the second place trophy. And now I would like to invite Ms. Kate Zhang, the Operation Manager for Michelin Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the third place trophy. Now let's invite everybody to come together for a group photo. All right, let's pose for the cameras. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much to all of our award presenters. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some champagne.
Liu Kai-shun wasn't ready for that one. He's getting the full treatment from both sides from his 2 podium compatriots there. Eric, great job by Eric Zhang there. The Toro Racing car unfortunately didn't go his way in race 1. Came on the scene of another accident. There goes the cork for Liu Kai-shun. He gets his revenge. Brilliant stuff from that young man, putting the disappointment of race 1 behind and getting that win. Once again, the Michelin man, not his first rodeo, definitely not his first podium. He's going straight to cover there to make sure he doesn't get soaked with the bubbly. And finally, last but certainly not least, our pro podium. A great job by Dylan Pereira for Team Shanghai Honda, holding off Matthias Schaubert. Let's see how they're feeling.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to invite the winners of round 10 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 for the overall class. On third place, we have driver number 55, Alessandro Giretti from Team Jepson. Come on, let's give it a lot of cheer, guys. And on the second place, we have driver number 99, Mathis Jobert from Toro Racing. And of course, the winner for the round 10 of overall class, we have driver number 5, Dylan Pereira from Team Shanghai Honda BWT. Yeah! And of course, the Dylan Trophy goes to Team Shanghai Honda BWT. Come on, cheer for them. And of course, the Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer Trophy winner, let's give it to Lu Wenlong from EBM Giga Racing. And now I would like to invite Mr. Alexandre Gibault, the Managing Director of Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present both the winner trophy and also the dealer trophy. Fantastic. Now let's invite Mr. Winston Fong, Head of Marketing and Brand Communications, Sam Darby Auto Performance, to present the second place trophy. And And now we'd like to invite Ms. Kate Zhang, the Operation Manager for Michelin Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the third place trophy and also the Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer trophy. Photo together. Get ready, 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much to our award presenters, ladies and gentlemen. Let's time for the champagne.
Well, Dylan Carrera, he had his plan. He's got the champagne going everywhere, and well deserved. But the fun doesn't finish here in Sepang. We're back tomorrow, 3:40 p.m. local time, where we have round 11 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, a 45-minute epic, a longer race. Be sure to join us for that. But for now, it's goodbye.
You in the welcome.